Hi and welcome back. Let's talk about peptides. Let's do a deep dive into peptides, what they are, how they function on the skin, and why for me they are a surefire, slow and steady wins the race when it comes to helping to repair and optimize the health of your skin. And I say that because it can't just be me that has noticed a massive backlash against very high levels of retinol, including prescription strength retinoids, very, very acidic, low pH vitamin C's, and also very low pH resurfacing acids. There seems to be a bit of an outbreak at the moment in sensitized, overly stressed skin, and this is where I think peptides can come into their own, because I genuinely feel that peptides are up there in terms of an important active ingredient for most skin types, and especially a lovely, how would I call it, slightly preventative step in skin to use in your 20s and 30s, but certainly they take on an importance when you're my age, in your 40s and your 50s and beyond, but with absolute zero side effects, zero downtime, zero irritation, and that's quite important. So let's talk about what peptides are, right? Peptides are a short chain of 2 or more amino acids, and amino acids are part of the protein chain. They're part of they form proteins. Amino acids form proteins in the body. And within your entire body, peptides are involved in most metabolic functions. So they're involved in metabolism, digestion, respiration, immune response, all those sorts of things. And in your skin, they're involved in hydration, immune response, to some degree, pigment delivery, and certainly most importantly in collagen and elastin manufacture and repair. So where do we start with how peptides work? We know that they sort of have a lock and key effect within the skin, in the sense that you get a specific type of peptide and it attaches onto a specific cell receptor and it sort of boosts that cell to optimize whatever it's doing. But we also know that when they sit on the skin, if you break down collagen and elastin into its various parts and break it down into its amino acids, its peptides, and you sit it on the skin sees it as a damaged skin cell, and that's not a bad thing because it then sets up a repair process. And the first time I heard about peptides, it was probably about 20 years ago. Yeah, 15, 20 years ago, from 2 different companies, and one of those companies is partly sponsoring this video, and that is Kate Somerville. And I'm going to talk about her products and what she sees the role of peptides in skincare being in her new KATECEUTICALS range, and then I'm going to talk about other peptides that are available on the market. And I should say up front that Kate was the first skin therapist, the first clinician to talk to me about peptides, to talk to us about how peptides are an essential step in most skincare, that they can be delivered in different ways, but they essentially should be in your serums, your eye products, your overnight creams, all that sort of stuff. And her new KATECEUTICALS range is really interesting. And I did a live launch with her to a lot of people online, because obviously we're in lockdown here, still in the UK. And it was very interesting to talk to Kate, somebody who I really admire in the industry, because she's built up her entire career on hands-on approach to skincare. So she trained as an esthetician and went to work for cosmetic surgeons, and she couldn't find anything to put on the skin of people who were having a lot of laser resurfacing and were recovering post-surgery. So she actually went on to develop her products. And one of the first ranges of products she ever developed were based around peptides. And when I'm going to introduce you to the new ones, but actually don't forget that she still has some iconic peptide products within her range, and I just happen to have picked up the Peptide K8 Power Cream, which is a cocktail of really powerful peptides. And Kate is a huge peptide cheerleader. When we were chatting in our various different calls, she was saying that since her first development and looking into peptides, the peptide market has exploded, and there are peptides for so many different functions within the skin, which is why she created the new KATECEUTICALS. And it's 3 products within the range. There's a total repair cream, there's a firming serum, and a lifting eye cream. And they have a cocktail of peptides, and those peptides are designed to boost collagen and elastin production and hydration within the skin. There is also one in there to try and regulate the melanin production in the skin to get brighter skin and to avoid the development of age spots. And you know, they're very lightweight, easy to wear gel texture formulations that I absolutely love. And I think when Kate formulated them, what she wanted to do was she wanted you to be able to recreate an at-home routine to try during lockdown to get the results that you would get from her salon treatment, her in-clinic treatment at home. And they are well worth sussing out. They're really, really interesting. And I have a code. Go and have a look. Why are peptides important? Because I feel that peptides can be used in conjunction with acids. They can be used in conjunction with exfoliants. They can be used in conjunction with retinols. They can be used in conjunction with vitamin C and niacinamide and antioxidants, because I do feel like they are the unsung workhorse. They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting in skincare, and while you might not get instantaneous results from the use of peptides, but a cleverly formulated peptides will give you instant hydration and instant brightness and all those things. They're the slow and steady. They are the slow and steady wins the race. They're a little bit like using an SPF every day. They're a sort of insurance for your skin in the future, because what they do is they trick your skin into behaving in a more healthy, technically youthful, but I would say optimum way. So let's have a look at each of those individual products. The serum is super lightweight, easy to use, really nice. I feel like it can be used all over. It's that beautiful gel cream serum that I love. I feel that it can be used all over, around the eyes, down the neck, onto the chest, and even onto the lips. It's really beautiful. It's nice and hydrating, super lightweight. I mean, on a lot of summer days, that would be just enough for me. And I remember saying that to Kate when we did the launch show, and she said, really? And I said, yes, seriously, I love a lightweight gel texture. And if it's really well formulated with humectants like this, plus you've got the added benefit of all the cocktail of peptides, what you've got is the instant hydration and plumping. It sits beautifully under makeup with the long-term investment of peptides. The eye cream, it's a cream, so it actually is more hydrating for the more delicate eye area. And the minute I did that, I thought, do you know what? I've been filming all day. My eyes are really dry. They feel really dry and tight. I sometimes feel that that's to do with putting concealers around your eyes as well. Anyway, you're not supposed to wear it on top of makeup. I was just never going to let that go to waste, was I? And then the Total Repair Cream is a combination of peptides and ceramides. So you get the skin boosting effect of the peptides with the reparative effect of ceramides, which essentially help, they make your skin, and I've talked about ceramides a lot, and essentially what they do is it's almost like repairing a brick wall where the mortar has come out and the bricks are loose. If you put ceramides between your skin cells, you get much less water loss, transepidermal water loss, so your skin is much more hydrated and healthy and plump and glowing. But more importantly, it's much more protected between you and the external aggressors, pollution, sunlight, the whole thing, basically the whole gamut, including the makeup you put on your skin and any harsh retinols or vitamin C's or acids that you might use on your skin. So a ceramide in conjunction with the peptide is a really great barrier repair product. So they are the three things, but do also look at the iconic Peptide K8 Power Cream, which was one of her original peptide products. I want you to know that peptides are widely available in other products and at all price points, and they don't necessarily have to have peptide on the front label for you to know that they've got peptides in, because I remember when around the same time that Kate Somerville was talking to us about peptides, Olay were talking to us about peptides, and Olay are part of Procter & Gamble, and they did a lot of research into one of the original palmitoyl pentapeptides, and peptide is the name of the amino acid, and penta means 5 of them, so it was 5 of them put together, and palmitol means it's just got an oil chain on the end to sneak it into your skin, because your skin likes oil because it can then get between the skin cells. And I think they did a lot of research with the American Academy of Dermatology that showed that this original peptide, this original pentapeptide, was actually a triggering cell communicator to get the skin to boost collagen production, and all of the types of collagen found in the skin as well, which I think is really interesting. So when you look for a peptide on a product, it's very hard actually between you and I without knowing and without going away and Googling it, but feel free to go away and Googling it, exactly what that peptide does, because different peptides, as I say, they're like a key and a lock. They fit into different cells, different locks within the skin. But that classic palmitoyl pentapeptide, hexapeptide, tetrapeptide tends to work on collagen production within the skin. So let's have a look what we've got. I've got a whole host here, and I'm going to talk about copper peptides too, because I think they are very interesting. Let's start with a good budget product. This is the new number 7 range, and these are the new number 7 capsules, and this is their advanced ingredients. And there are 4 in the range, but I've chosen the ceramides and peptides one, obviously, because this is a video about peptides. And essentially what they are is they are individual dosed skincare. So let's be honest here. It's a little bit Arden-esque, isn't it? And other brands do them as well. But there are 4 different ones within the range, but I chose this one because it's that combination of ceramides and peptides, which I think is really interesting. And these, sorry, I'm having trouble putting that lid on there. These are very reasonably priced, but you don't get a lot of product in there. But when we go traveling, even if it's a staycation, but certainly if we're abroad, they are a great, easy to use on the go form of peptides and ceramides, individually dosed to cover your entire face. Let's keep on the more reasonable spectrum of prices before I go up super high end, because a lot of super high end products are loaded with peptides as well. You know that Jennifer Rock and I have worked together so many times on Instagram. She's an Irish facialist, sort of the Irish Kate Somerville in a way, and she has a brilliant skin nerd network of people who are just know a lot about skin products and what's available on the market, but most of her team that she works with are founded in hands-on facial therapy. And I really love her skin protein. This is the 3rd step in her really simplified and elegant, unfragranced, just great skincare range. It's really lovely, and it is available over here now. And when I first met her, we were in Dublin together on a I think it was a number 7 event actually, and we were talking about our love of peptides and actually retinols probably back then in the day, but this now she's launched over here, and this is her vitamin A, but it's a retinol palmitate, so it's a retinol precursor, so super gentle, and it's a C serum, but more importantly it's got peptides in it. It's got a cocktail of peptides in it as well, so it's a sort of triple whammy, early morning, first step, second, third step. I mean, it says 3 on it, but obviously that includes the cleansers as well, that you can put on your skin. It's one of those, as I said the other day, what you're looking for in a product is something that's got antioxidants in, it's got peptides in, plus it's got a vitamin A precursor and a vitamin C in it. I mean, it's one of those products. It's really, really clever, very reasonably priced, unfragranced, suits all skin types. As we go up in price, I mean, I think we should probably, what shall I look at next? No, I think we should start at this point to talk about copper peptides, because copper peptides are one of those ones, and I pretty much, my skin will get on with all peptides. Copper peptides, so copper amino isolate, which is part of the DECIEM group, got a lot of buzz when it first launched, and I tried it, and it's the 2-part one that you mix that goes blue. So you get the serum and you get an activator. And peptides are normally very stable. They're one of those products you can keep on your side and you can use, and they don't degrade in the sun and all that sort of stuff. But this is one that comes with an activator and it turns blue. And I've used it time and time again. And the idea behind a copper peptide is that copper is an essential mineral within the skin. So it made sense that if you could deliver a form of copper peptide into the skin, that you'd strengthen the skin. I have to be really honest with you. I've never really had great results with this. And I'm not sure whether it's because I've never used it long enough or I've never kind of gone through 2 or 3 bottles. But of all the peptides I've used, it's one that I'm not particularly a fan of, but it has its fans, and copper peptides are interesting. They have less research behind them than the traditional palmitoyl, tri, penta, hexa peptides. However, what came after that was copper amino isolate lipid, which came in a tube, and I much preferred. So basically the other one was oil free, so basically hence the fact it was water soluble, so it needed activating. This one is in a lipid, and I really like this one because I feel like my skin needs more lipids as I get older. So if you're going to try a copper peptide, do try this one. So this is the copper amino isolate lipid 1%. So it's got the 1% copper amino isolate in it, but it's also got, I think it's a squalane base, and it's really nice, easy to use, much more moisturising than the sort of blue water, essentially. I would be very interested to see if any of you have had visible results with a copper peptide. I think for me, the jury is out on it. It's not the sort of peptide that I would normally choose. Other products that we're going up in price now. Do have a look at the HYDROPEPTIDE. This is one that specifically has peptides in to target eye problems, so puffiness, dark circles, that sort of thing. And I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I'm about to test it and try it. And I do think that the whole range, the whole hydropeptide range is obviously based around peptides, but I think that looking at peptides moving forward for pigmentation, hydration, for capillary formation, dark circles, things like that, this is the new cutting edge of peptides. And then I've got 3 more going up in price. I do like Allies of Skin, and they've got 2 really big peptide products, but the one I like most of all is the retinaldehyde peptides overnight mask. So that's retinol and peptides. And this is where I'm saying that, as you've said here, peptides can be used with vitamin C. Peptides can be used with anything. Here they are with a retinaldehyde, which is the metabolic pathway step on from retinol to retinoic acid. So you've got a powerful retinaldehyde of vitamin A that will help skin function to be optimized, along with peptides as well. So I do think it's really clever that peptides can be snuck in to do the slow, heavy lifting, while the star ingredients do most of the immediate efficacy and the most immediate visible effect on the skin. Then I want to go up to Skin Better Science. Now, Skin Better Science is a range that was introduced to me by Dr. Sophie Schotter at an AMWC, which is the Aesthetic Medical Worldwide Conference in the south of France, and she loves this range. So it's one to put on your radar, because I tend to think that aesthetic doctors and dermatologists are quite skeptical about skincare. Anyway, one of their foundations is that they use peptides. Yes, they have retinols as well, and they have strong levels of antioxidants. So I've got 2 products here. I've got the INTERFUSE Treatment Cream Face and the INTERFUSE Treatment Cream Eye, both loaded with peptides. And the peptide here is working to nourish collagen, to boost that collagen production, to basically aim to kickstart your skin into action. If your skin is sluggish, and let's be honest here, beyond the age of, what did I hear the other day? I think it's something like 25, your collagen production begins to reduce. And then when you go through the menopause, it goes through dramatically. Your production of collagen A is the enzyme that kills off damaged collagen. So you produce new collagen, goes up, and then your production of collagen goes down. I think you lose something like 30% of your skin's collagen in the first 5 years after menopause. I mean, yes. So I think peptides also in body products are a massive one to look for. So if you're noticing that your arms or your knees are starting, or your elbows are starting to get wrinkled, try investing in a peptide body product. Or if you've got peptides hanging around, don't forget to put them on the back of your elbows and your hands as well. So definitely one to look out for. And then I'm going to finish with a range that I've never mentioned before, and is a true cult range. And I remember going to the launch of it and meeting the founder, and that's Augustinus Bader, and it is ridiculously expensive, which is why I tend not to speak about it. But the founding idea behind it is based in peptides, and that's because the founder is a doctor who works within burns units on hospitals. And he found that a really rich cocktail of active ingredients, most of which you don't get in his products, by the way. So things like epidermal growth factors and stem cells and all that sort of stuff. But also, in addition, with a cocktail of peptides, can help repair burnt, damaged skin. And so what he's done is he's created a skincare range, essentially mainly to finance his medical work, which is an admirable thing, but they are seriously expensive. Loads of people love them. They also make the Victoria Beckham products, which also have peptides in. I think this one has the octopeptide, and I think the Victoria Beckham has the tetrapeptide. Anyway, peptides are interesting. I don't think anybody is going to expect to get instant results for peptides. And the reason is because they, as I said, they're doing the heavy lifting. They're there in the background, continually checking that they are going to work, boosting collagen production, trying to boost elastin production, trying to boost hydration, trying to regulate pigmentation, regulate sort of capillary formulation, stuff like that. And they can work, and they don't have to get that deep into the skin, because they send signals within the skin. They send messages down to boost various different functions within the skin, and they do it with this key and lock. So basically there's a receptor for every peptide that's created, and they can go in and then find their relevant lock and unlock the way that a skin cell works to make it, or a particular part of a skin cell works to make it more optimally healthy. That's how I think about peptides working, in a sort of, I pretty much understand the science, but I'm trying to explain it in a non-scientific way. And do go on and have a look at the KATECEUTICALS range. It is a peptide cocktail. You've got a cocktail of peptides here. Kate has thrown all of her working peptides into one single range, And I think when we worked together on it, I saw her combine it with exfoliants and acids, and she was talking about combining it with antioxidants and retinols and things like that. Because you can, because what they work to do is optimize the health of your skin. And actually, if you can do that, then your skin will better react to all the other star ingredients, the sort of A, C and E's of this world, essentially. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. What's your favorite peptide product? They come at all prices. I mean, you can go on the high street and you can find a whole host of things with peptide names in them. If you're concerned about which peptide you're using and you want a peptide for a specific role, just go away and Google them. But the main peptides are working on the proteins within the skin, the collagen and elastin, the things that keep skin firm and bouncy and plump, which gets slightly less plump every single year. Well, the rest of me gets a little bit plumper. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.